What up, y'all? It's your girl Araneae Storm checking in for the Sun Sign series. I have been putting out this series to not only promote, and put things out of myself, because I did say that I was gonna have this shit rocking last year. But now we're in Aries season, and since Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, I figured why not start it on a new year, new leaf, and start putting out this series to help us all collectively get to know each other. You know what I mean? So this is just a little bit of what I've observed, my observations, my personal knowledge, and yeah, let's get into it. So Virgo Sun, I am a Virgo Sun, Leo Virgo cusp. I am a goodness. I don't know if it's my allergies or if it's like somebody trying to communicate with me with this shit. I'll be like, but anyway, Venus and Virgo in the 7th house, Jupiter and Virgo in the 7th house. Is it 7? Yeah, I think it is the 7th house. And I think that's all I have for Virgo energies, I think. But anyway, Sun sign Virgo. So Virgo is the mutable earth sign. So we go from fixed fire in Leo to mutable earth in Virgo. It rules the 6th house of work, routine, you know what I'm saying, like health and things like that. So Virgos, we always constantly trying to make sure that we good, we're productive, we working, feeling the need to immerse ourselves in work in order to feel like we are given to the world. It's very service based oriented sign, wanting to seek out the best in people, sometimes almost to a fault, but we'll get into that soon. Wanting to move the collective forward, and if we think about it, it's the harvest. So right after summertime, we move into fall. Virgo is the transition from the summer to the fall time. So getting the harvest ready, getting those seeds planted, making sure everything is, together and right before we move into the colder, times of the month. So by the time spring comes around, by the time Aries season comes around, everything is in bloom and good and everybody can eat. So, its opposite sign is Pisces. So we go from mutable water, in Pisces over to mutable earth and Virgo. Virgo definitely lives, whereas Pisces is in the spiritual realm. Virgo also lives in the spiritual realm in a sense, but is based in the material realm. So it's your everyday routines, like I said, the things that you do on a daily basis to move you one step closer to tackle the goals and things that you have set for yourself. One thing, well, a couple things I could speak on. Virgo is going to be the sign that is, like Leo is motivating and being the cheerleader and, bringing that enthusiasm to, the table. Virgo is going to push. And again, like I said, sometimes it could be a little bit, unwarranted. But Virgo is going to call you out on your shit and push you to be the greatest self that you can be. It's fact checking. It's pulling or picking the bad apples from the good apples. It's very, very, very intuitive sign. Very logical sign, even though it's Earth, but it's very. I guess you could definitely have the best of both worlds, but it's very. It can pick up on things, pick up on energies, pick up on people. It's the Hermit of the zodiac, so it's like, it's the Virgin and also the Hermit. So it's literally purifying the entire space. And that's high frequency Virgos. I'm not saying all Virgos is that way, but purifying the space. It's knowing like it was this motherfucker from a mile away. It don't smell good at all. It don't smell good. It don't feel good. It don't smell good. I'm good. Virgo needs to recharge, especially when it's around a lot of people. Virgo needs that time to like come back in, recharge and get that energy back, because it is like Pisces in a sense, a feeler, an empath, like I said, seeking out the bad apples from the good. If we look at Virgo to be the computer of the zodiac, and I hate to break it down like that, but the computer is checking for, if you misspelling shit, and if you've what if you've done to enter the data, and if the fact checking entered it correctly or not, and shit like that. And then also, if you need to talk to somebody, like if you need like some solid ass advice, you know what I mean, that is warranted, a Virgo is gonna make sure that you know what I mean, it's gonna make sure that they can help in any way that they can. Any way that we can help, we will go out of our ways to help. We will. And then we know also now how to draw fucking boundaries. It is the essence of the nurture, the mother, mother Gaia, Gia, whatever you want to call it. It's the essence of that nature. It restores, humanity. It restores nature, you know what I mean? Unlike Taurus being the foundation of that. And it really, like when Virgo sets something in place, it might take Virgo a minute to like jump on it, but when Virgo is set in that, Virgo would do anything to get that shit done. You best believe, bitch. If a Virgo says that they set out to do something, Virgo's gonna get that shit done. And I'm not saying this for all, I'm just saying this for the majority, and just the energy of Virgo. Like, it's very determined, very critical of self, very critical of others, but critical of self more so, because it is that's just the way Virgo is. And also on the other side, on the opposite side of Virgo, sometimes it can be overly critical. Sometimes Virgo can provide advice that's not needed. Can be very nitpicky, in the sense of like wanting things to be a certain way, and if it's not that way, it's a problem, or just being so and nitpicky out of love, in a sense. Nitpicky when irritated, but that's another way that Virgo expresses its emotions, because it's not really, it's crazy, because even though it's a mutable earth sign, it's not a super duper emotional sign. And I know some people would disagree, but you need to look at the moon. Okay, you need to look at the Mars, and you need to look at the moon, and maybe even Venus. But off top, if we're talking about just Virgo suns in general, expression wise, not to say that they or we don't have like the that shit in our core, but it's not outwardly emotional. It doesn't express it. It expresses through logic. It expresses through, okay, does this make sense, or is this not making sense? Like, I need it to make sense, you know what I mean, for me to like move on and figure out what the fuck is actually going on. So definitely that it can be very when it comes to relationships and friendships and things like that, it can be very closed off or shy, in a sense, until it really feels like the person that wants to get to know them, or is really genuine. So it can definitely take a long time for Virgo to open up to people, because it senses people, and sometimes it's not necessarily the person. It's definitely Virgo just not wanting everybody to come in, where Pisces is just like, yeah, come on in, have a beer, stay over for a day, and then it turns into 12 days, and you're like, nigga, why is you still here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Virgo can be very like restricted in that sense of, or very conserved, and wanting to take its time to get to know somebody, take its time to let somebody in before being vulnerable and open, in the sense of like, all right, it's safe, so definitely that. And whew, Virgo is, and I'm not just saying this to be biased, but Virgo to me, of all the zodiac signs, is really about that life when it comes to, you know, service to other people. You know, it wants the collective to progress. It wants the collective to do, you know, its due diligence and its highest good. But I feel like also with that, you know, you have to understand that not everybody is here to ascend at the level that you personally think that people should ascend at, and to let people, you know, have their time to be able to, you know, sometimes figure things out for themselves and not be so much of the fixer, even though Virgo gets the title of being the fixer, but not being so much of the fixer of the zodiac. You know, if you want to help out of the kindness of your heart, help out of the kindness of your heart, but, you know, start trying to use that energy of like fixing other people, and or being, you know, giving advice and things like that to other people all the time, especially if it's unwarranted, and put it and pour it back into the self, you know, because, you know, Virgo is a service-based sign. Sometimes it feels the need to just give unto other people unconditionally, or conditionally, if we're gonna be honest, which Pisces is unconditional, but in a sense. But give that same, you know, all that stuff that you pour into other people, and, you know, scratch the criticism, unless it's healthy for you, and then pour it back into yourself. So that's what I have for Virgo. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to continue into, you know, Libra. And you know where to find me, araneastorm@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. And shit, I'll see y'all soon. For sure.